This evening, Minister of State responds to media annoyance over President's unannounced trips. Crime Chief discusses the GPF's improved crime-fighting statistics. New Central Housing and Planning Authority Board of Directors sworn in. Students are amazed and educated at local health fair. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, the debate over raising the age of marriage consent continues. And internationally, earlier this month, the U.S. dropped the mother of all bombs on ISIS in Afghanistan. But did it do any real damage?
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. Minister of State Joseph Harmon answered the question that is on the mind of many media operatives. Why does the Ministry of the Presidency continue to fail to inform the press of the President's planned state visits abroad? Andrew Weeks reports.
Last Sunday, when the Ministry of the Presidency sent out a release that the head of state was leaving for a state visit to the UK, the media corps in Guyana was caught off guard.
This evening, Minister of State responds to media annoyance over President's unannounced trips. Crime Chief discusses the GPF's improved crime-fighting statistics. New Central Housing and Planning Authority Board of Directors sworn in. Students are amazed and educated at local health fair. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, the debate over raising the age of marriage consent continues. And internationally, earlier this month, the U.S. dropped the mother of all bombs on ISIS in Afghanistan. But did it do any real damage?
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. Minister of State Joseph Harmon answered the question that is on the mind of many media operatives. Why does the Ministry of the Presidency continue to fail to inform the press of the President's planned state visits abroad? Andrew Weeks reports.
Last Sunday, when the Ministry of the Presidency sent out a release that the head of state was leaving for a state visit to the UK, the media corps in Guyana was caught off guard. The trip, which the president had planned long in advance, was only relayed to the Fourth Estate the same day he was leaving. This caused many to call out the Ministry of the Presidency Communications Department on its continued failure to properly inform the media in a timely manner on public engagements concerning the head of state. Editor Chief Gordon Mosley, who also came out accusing the presidential PR department of being ridiculous in the Guyana Media Resource WhatsApp group. And he stated, quote, "The exact thing was done during his Chile visit and the Bahamas visit. The media ought to be informed well in advance so that they can make their own travel arrangements if they decide to cover. No one is looking for a handout from the government, but this is ridiculous, especially in the context that this may be the first time in over 20 years that a Ghana president is going to the UK on an official visit," unquote. This reporter asked Cabinet Secretary Minister of State Joseph Harmon to respond. Listen.
What it is that the president is doing, that is more important. And the president's activities once he's abroad is covered, it is reported on a daily basis. I'm sure you are getting images, you're getting statements, you're getting reports on the president's current visit to the United Kingdom and the engagements he's had with business people, his audience with Her Majesty the Queen, and his audience with members of the British government, the British administration, and the fact that we can look forward to certain visits by the Secretary of State, the Minister of State, that is, for this region, and several other issues that will come out of it. So he is keeping us abreast about what he's doing. Some matters are matters of state which require a certain level of security and therefore are dealt with at another level. But certainly public engagements are all reported, and they're reported widely. Even the photographs and so on that are reported widely. So we will always endeavor to keep the Guyanese public informed of His Excellency, the President's activities, and we shall do so, we continue to do so in a timely manner.
Minister Harman was able to point out that only one member of the Presidential Press Corps was able to accompany the President, which to me can be manipulated to represent the government's interest and not the people's interest. Even Demerara's editor-in-chief, Mr. Chabral, backed me up and said the President Press Department needs to inform the media in advance where the President's state visit are concerned. Listen.
Minister, would you think it was prudent enough to have a wider cross-section of media rep to attend or to accompany the President on these trips? Because having just one press there could manipulate the information.
Well, I don't know about manipulating information. This is the President's, that's the President's present publicity, and that's it. I'm sure if the other members of the media you want to have to travel yourself at your own expense, then I'm sure you're free to do so.
We should be notified in advance.
Well, you'll get, at least you can get there in time.
I think a little more.
I take the point. I take the point, Mr. I take the point. Yes.
President Granger is expected back in Guyana before the May 1 Labor Day parade. We will get his take on this matter when he holds a press conference on his trip to the UK. We'll keep you posted. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. According to Crime Chief Wendell Blanham, the Guyana Police Force has made significant strides in solving serious crimes for this year. Here's more. The Criminal Investigation Department of the Guyana Police Force, or CID, has performed well for this year thus far. Crime Chief Wendell Blanham noted that the police force has solved at least 85% of the murders committed for this year thus far.
We have been doing fairly well. The clear-up rate for murders, as I indicated earlier, we are at an 85% in clear-up rate. And we have been, in terms of serious crimes for the period January to date, when we did an analysis for the last period, as last year, we are on par. So we have been doing fairly well.
A heavy police presence in crime-ridden areas and strategic roadblocks have helped to reduce crime. But the biggest factor of this improved performance has been the heavy cooperation between all arms of the force in order to break up active criminal gangs.
So we're working with the intelligence arm of the force to ensure that we bring the situation under control. But we have been arresting persons, we have been dismantling criminal groups.
While the Guyana Police Force has seen improvements in their case clear-up rate and better crime prevention, citizens are still plagued by street crimes, especially in commercial areas. A possible hindrance to the police force's work is bail for repeat offenders. Criminals being released on bail, especially for repeat violence offenses, is a very contentious topic in Guyana. Blanham feels that it would be naive to not put this into consideration.
When these known characters or high-profile criminals, they're granted bail and they have matters before the courts, that kind of impose a very difficult or unfavorable condition upon us. So many of the persons that we are charging, those are persons who would have come into contact before with the law enforcement officers, and we would have charged them on their back out based on the bail either being granted at the Georgia Magistrate Court or the High Court.
Despite the challenges of the job, ranks of the Guyana Police Force will continue to fulfill their mandate to protect and serve the citizens of Guyana. Don't go away. Coming up on Headline News after the break, new CHNPA Board of Directors sworn in, and City Hall's health fair captivates and educates local youth.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town. Served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from. Also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
Let's get it on. Total U Plus is introducing the Bridal Collection. We sell bridal gowns with over 150 styles to choose from, including bridal gowns for Muslim brides. We also sell bride and bridesmaid gloves, tiaras, petals, flower girl baskets, bridal pins, just married signs for vehicles, guest books and pens, aisle runners, veils, table placement holders, garters. Yes, the complete collection. Come see our bridal display in store. Total U Plus Bridal Collection. Froggy Mall, booth number 16. Let's get it on.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
City Hall's health fair has caught the attention of both the young and old, including a group of 5th form students from St. John's College. When the students gathered around a reproductive health education booth, some of them were stunned to learn of the proper use of male and female contraceptives. Andrew Eakes captured the moment and filed this report.
City Hall's second and final health fair day wraps up its activities on Friday. Many came to visit or participate in the health activities by either donating blood, checking their pressure, or getting information on STDs and STIs, like the students of the St. John's College who happened to stop by this reproductive health booth done by the Ministry of Public Health. We will share with you the full discussion with the public health officer and the students, who did a great job explaining how male and female condoms are used, when is the right time for persons to engage in sexual activities, etc. Listen.
Two books you can read upon it. They have different STIs, and why these STIs come because of sex, right? As long as you're having unprotected sex, that's why we say school children should wait. It's just a big people, man. Finish up your work, make mommy proud, make yourself proud. Be that nurse, that doctor, that hostess, whatever you want to become. And then all these eggs are right there waiting. And you just get fed up too. You understand me? See, man, just get fed up. So sex ain't running no place. I always tell, I love to speak to school children. Because when we pass on, you're around tomorrow. Right? So if you get HIV and die out, good thing happen. Right. And then the old people are going to have to try the ones who left back, but we're passing on, and you guys are going to take over. So in taking over, you want to have a healthy lifestyle, you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you must be able to tell others also about it. Right? So I'm going to give you 2 of these books. We don't have much, but we don't share condoms to school children. We don't share condoms in school, but we promote healthy living. We promote abstinence, and you can see all that, some of that on the posters, and you can see some of that in the books too. Right? And you can see as long as you're having sex, you see what is in the book.
You have any idea of it? Like to see?
Okay, this is the female condom. I've noticed in schools now, the female condom is, they're asking about it. Now a female condom is used when a male is not using his own. Now some men would complain, oh the condom make me don't get an erection, oh the condoms make me get itchy. Different things male would say, big people, right? So if he is not using the condom, the female use the condom. Now it's important to check your expiration date. Make sure any condom when you get big and start using. Now for the female condom, you check your expiry date. This is what it looks like. Now as you see my hands oily, it's fully lubricated. Now the condom carry 2 rings. This is the top, this is the bottom. You make the figure 8. And you insert it. Either you lie down, you stoop down, however you're comfortable. And you insert the condom. When you insert the condom in the female, you take your middle finger and put it right up to the mouth of the uterus. Now you can have this in for a whole day, 8 hours, whatever. You can 12 hours, 8 hours, whatever. You can go to the party, that's for big people, I'm telling you, right? Go to the party and do all what you want to do, the condom will still be there. But when the partner is coming in, going to enter you, it's important to make sure that the person goes in here. Not here. You gotta make sure you lead the man so he can go here. Right? Now people would say, oh, this is so big and why it's so big. This is big. A woman would not be as big as the condom. But to make this to facilitate the males, the genital of the male. Not every man would have a small penis. Some men have large penis. Everybody got their own styling. Right? So this gotta make like this for men with large penis. So even though it's going to you, this will be small like this in you. But then the length and the width is for men with fat penis, fine, long, whatever. It would facilitate that. Right? So this is the female. So my hands, oily, it's fully lubricated. You rub nothing on it. And it's easy to use. And when you finish, you pull it out, this part, you ring it, put it in a piece of tissue, and you dispose of it. Right?
Like when she goes to the party or stuff, it
wouldn't fall out.
It wouldn't go up like
No. Remember you're putting this condom to the mouth of the uterus. You see the ring? This ring is not going to be like this. When you put it in this way, this ring is going to turn like this. So this is going to lock off the mouth of the uterus. Right? So this will be in there locking off. So no sperm. No sperm get you pregnant, right? Sperm don't get you positive though. Right? No sperm gets you positive. It's the semen and the secretion. The vaginal secretion and the semen that comes from that little slime that comes out of from the man before, that is what gets you positive, not the sperm. I bet y'all didn't know that. Right. So I mean it's important when you hear people talk things, you're out there, you hear people speaking things that don't make sense, you can correct them. Because a lot of people don't know. People still think if you sit and you get up, I drink a cup from an HIV person, I drink from the cup, they can get positive. No. HIV don't spread that. HIV lives in body fluid. So it's important to let them know, no. I went to the health fair and I learned that from the council and social work. Okay? Thank you for listening. Any questions? You sure? You remember everything?
Well, it seems like the students were well informed, and it's hope that they will now focus on their schoolwork instead of maybe experimenting with sex. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. According to a report from Gina, works at the Kitty seawall are moving apace, and the first phase of works is scheduled for completion by mid-May. Works are 20% completed, and thus far the Carafesta Avenue leg of the culvert has been removed. Work has begun on its reconstruction. At the end of the project, the drainage network will be completely redesigned to increase drainage capacity. On Thursday, a new board of directors of the Central Housing and Planning Authority was sworn in. Ministers Ronald Bulkin and Valerie Adams Patterson both expressed high hopes and expectations for the incoming group.
It's both my honor and my pleasure to have this opportunity to welcome the members of the newly constituted Board of Directors of the CHNPA.
On Thursday, the new Board of Directors for the Central Housing and Planning Authority was sworn in. Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Valerie Adams Patterson, expressed high hopes for this board.
I know that this CHMPA board is going to accomplish great things in these 2 years. Great things.
The role of the Board of Directors is to oversee the operations of the Ministry of Communities. As such, Minister Patterson encouraged the committee and management to work together. Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkin charged the members of the committee to maintain transparency and emphasized good governance.
Say that good governance is fundamental. If governance is ineffective, it compromises the ability of management to succeed in delivering high-quality services to the public.
The group is made up of one representative from each of the 9 municipalities of Guyana. The other members are from the Environmental Protection Agency, the Lands and Surveys Commission, the Central Board of Health, and other agencies. Minister Patterson recognized the broad range of talent present on the newly appointed board.
Looking around this horseshoe table, I see a lot of quality. I see a lot of skills, potentials, experience.
Reverend Ellsworth Williams was appointed chairman of the board. The other members are as follows: Junior Garrett, Sheikh Mohammed Dawood Khan, Cleveland December, Mark Ambrose, Carlton Beckles, Winifred Haywood, Rook Kim Ramcharan, Sonia Gums Luke, Dr. Malika Mutu, Glennis James, Heather Martins, Tandy McAllister, Michael Huston, Naresh Mangar, Waneka Arundel, and Egbert Carter. Observant viewers would have noticed some familiar names on the board. This too was noticed by the ministers.
I know that there are some former board members here. I can see about 5.
As we have heard, not all of you are new to this board. We have some members being reappointed.
The term of the previous board was originally slated to end in June of this year, but it was dissolved in December of 2016 amidst much internal squabbles, personal agendas, and political infighting, as well as a lack of overall cooperation with the ministry. With this in mind, the newly appointed chairman, Williams, also charged the group to work with integrity.
We do not and we cannot achieve and work together with hidden agendas. We've all got to be people whose word or words become our bond.
The Board of Directors began working in February. The members will serve on the board for 2 years. Don't touch that dial. Still ahead, we have our regional news, international news, and this week's installment of Beautiful Guyana.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Now opened, the new thriving Chinese restaurant Providence location. Perfect for large events, exquisite menus featuring traditional Korean, Chinese and Western cuisine, elegant grand dining room and seats for over 500 persons. Also additional seating on the upper flat, luxurious VIP rooms and an elevator for your comfort. The new thriving Chinese restaurant second location above Massey Supermarket, Amazonian Mall, Providence. For reservation call 623-4097 or 657-9067.
In news from the region now, in Trinidad and Tobago, the verdict is still out on whether or not the marriage age should be raised to 18. A consultation held on Thursday was designed to find some sort of middle ground in the child marriage debate. The Attorney General said while the government had suggested raising the marriage age to 18 across the board, concerned groups voiced the belief that there may be some validity in allowing marriages in the 16 to 18 age range. C News' Soyini Gray has the details.
Thursday afternoon's consultation on marriage acts and issues related to children was centered on whether the legal age for all 4 marriage acts should be raised to 18. But then the argument for allowing marriage between persons 16 to 18 years of age was presented to the government for consideration.
The point that came away from the pause was the very responsible voices who stepped forward to say, hold on guys, let's have a look at this judicial exception, this consent position. And some of you are sitting in this audience today.
It suggested that marriage between persons 16 to 18 be allowed where the child gives their unbiased consent. Their parents and or guardians give theirs, and then there's also the possibility of judicial permission. But the AG said in the case of judicial consent, with the average case taking 3 years to be heard, by the time a decision is made, the 16-year-old applicant would have turned 19 and no longer require their permission. This was acknowledged and treated by some of the associations and groups taking part in the consultation.
There's a total difference between sexual experimentation, which is what the Romeo Clause really addresses, and 2 people saying they want to get married and cohabitate and supposedly go ahead and have children.
When we looked at the data, we're suggesting that given the number of marriages that have occurred within that age group of 16 to 18 over the period of, let's say, the last 10 years, it doesn't suggest that it would overwhelm the system. But we're suggesting that the applications go to the family court.
One contributor to the discussion asked if we'd suitably considered whether 16-year-olds were mature enough to make the decision to get married. She started by saying that she was in favor of the marriage age being set to 18 across the board.
The issue is, essentially, we're talking about very legal terms, but the issue is essentially maturity, right? Does a 16-year-old have the maturity to know if this is the best decision for her?
There are essentially 4 marriage acts in Trinidad and Tobago: Hindu, Muslim, Orisha and civil. All allow for persons under the age of 18 to be married in some form or the other. Thursday's consultation was meant to help the government amend the acts in a way that would meet global standards while honoring local customs and traditions. A summary of the discussions from the consultation on the Marriage Act should be made available next week. Soyini Gray, C News.
And internationally, earlier this month, the U.S. dropped a weapon known as the mother of all bombs in a remote corner of eastern Afghanistan. It was used to target Islamic State militants, but it has been difficult to assess what impact it really had. The BBC's Aliyah Atrafi was one of the first reporters to be given access to the area.
On the road to Achin district, where the US dropped its mother of all bombs. Islamic State militants are active here, but this missile caused little damage. And as we get closer, we begin to see the first signs of the massive explosion that rocked these mountains. Afghan forces say the bomb killed around 100 militants from the so-called Islamic State. The target was a network of caves, like these, used as a hideout.
These caves are left from the time of the Soviet invasion, and they were also used by the Taliban. Now ICE militants are using them too. The cave network has been destroyed, and it's possible that most of the dead are still under the rubble.
What looks like from the situation that we see here is that the mother of all bombs might have destroyed the network of caves in this one location, but we are told there are hundreds of other caves in the area still filled with the IS fighters. As one soldier here put it, the more we kill, the more come from the other side of Durand Line from Pakistan. Along the valley, American warplanes are carrying out raids on targets. And here are more scars of a long battle. This is the market of Shadal Bazaar. It used to be a lively market, but the ongoing fighting has forced many to flee. Many residents say the US bombing raid isn't going to change much.
This was just a trick to show the world that their mission is going well. But the bomb did nothing.
You think ICE would come back?
Yes, as soon as government troops leave, the locals won't be able to fight them. If the government makes permanent bases in the area and help us, then we will be okay.
The fight is far from ending. And for these locals, the US biggest bomb is not going to be the end of their troubles. Aulia Trafi, BBC, in Jalalabad.
And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in 6:30 Sunday morning for a rebroadcast, and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed and enjoyable Labor Day weekend.